Hello, friends and colleagues. I am going to take you through the step-by-step process of taking your face-to-face class to an online platform. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your Canvas module open and you have this YouTube video of me taking you through it as a tutorial side by side. So that way you can work simultaneously and you can actually just let me talk you through it while you're working in your own Canvas module. I'm going to do each video individually. So that way you can segment if you want to see the series all the way through, or if you want to just pick out certain videos that you could really use within this series. So if you don't know anything about online teaching, let's get started. The first thing I want to do is this video is going to be about how to set up your Canvas module with the settings and an overview to take you through what it looks like. Now I teach at many different colleges and I'm going to jump around to show you examples. So the first thing we want to do is to set up the settings in your Canvas module. Think of this as your online class. And you want to set your classroom up before your students come in just like you would in a regular face-to-face class. So the first thing you're going to see, and this is an old module because it's empty, so I can show you what yours looks like. Yours will typically look something like this when you open it up. It'll be blank and empty, depending on what school you're at. So I used to teach at this school, and this is a blank module, so it gives you an idea. You have on the left side here your basic bar, and then you have your basic tabs here. Now the students only see the ones that do not have this eyeball. So if there's a slash through it like that, that means that it's hidden from the student. Right now, your class is unpublished. So you don't want to publish it until you're ready for the students to see it. When you are ready to publish it, you click this publish button and it will publish for you. Now I don't want to publish this one because this is an old class. So on the left, you have here all of your different tabs. So you have your home page, which the next video will show you how to set the home page up. Announcements or any announcements that you want to make to your class. Assignments are going to be all of the assignments that you give them, of course. Discussions is the discussion board that you really want to utilize. So think of it like a Facebook thread or a Facebook post, where you will post a discussion on here and then they will reply and it will have a thread that comes down and it can be graded as well. The students in the grades tab get to see all of their grades for all of the assignments. Now there are no students logged into this, so for privacy issues, this is wonderful because you don't see any of that. So the gradebook will show you all of the grades as a whole in the students, and they have a gradebook too as well. So I'm just gonna go back to where I was. You can click on this top little triple tab and it'll take you back to where you were as well. People, this is going to be your roster. So this will show you literally when this is launched, it will show you all the students. Now, if your class is already loaded into Canvas, which hopefully it should be, you'll see a list of all of your students' names on here as well. Pages, this is going to be all of the pages that you create within your class. I usually don't allow the students to see this one, but all of these other top ones I will allow them to see. Files is going to be any photos or documents or anything that you upload. It will have them stored here for you. The syllabus tab is where you're going to put your syllabus for the students. Remember, everything is virtual and online, so you're going to literally input the details for your syllabus above where it says course syllabus up here on the top. And then below here, you're going to have the summary is all of the assignments will automatically pop in here after you input them. So it's an online digital syllabus, which is the way we really want to go with online. We want to use Canvas to be accessible and to use it for the format that it has set up. I wouldn't worry about outcomes right now. Quizzes is going to be all of the quizzes that you assign to them and that you're going to put online for them. Modules, extremely important. Modules is going to be the way that you break down your class. And this is the best way for students to stay organized is developing modules within units. Now I'll take you through all of these separately after this overview video. Conferences, if you want to have a conference with a student, I know a lot of you are using Zoom. I don't have Zoom into this application yet right here because this is an old class, but a lot of you are having Zoom now that's already, your school is allowing you to include it, conference Zoom in here. We'll come to that as well. Don't worry about collaborations, 3C Media, chat. I wouldn't worry about that right now. When you're doing an online class, attendance really doesn't matter because they're going to log in whenever they want to. That's the beauty of online teaching. But as a side tip, if you want to use attendance for your face-to-face classes after this is over, I would highly recommend it. I use it, but I'll do another video about that coming up as well. The rest of these I wouldn't really worry about. Sometimes your school has Office 365 and Google Drive that you can use or that your students can use. But the main thing is go all the way down here to settings, okay? And you can reorder these as well. So you want to go to settings. This is how you kind of get set up. This tells you all of the information of how it works on the back end. And you can edit this. You want to click the start date and the end date. This means the day your class starts and the day that it ends. Now I click students can only participate in this course between these dates because sometimes I don't want them to log in early. Now, if your class has already started, it doesn't really matter. They'll be able to see this information. I also don't want them to see the information after the class has ended, just because I don't want them to grab it and give it to another student, so I click that box. You can restrict them from viewing after the course date. You can restrict them from viewing before the course date, whatever you would like. I keep mine on private because I want my content copyrighted. I don't want anybody else to have to be able to have mine in the public domain. But if you want the public domain, go ahead and click it. I like my content being copied in private because I work so hard to create my online classes. This is a course, not institution. I want it all to be private. You can customize everything within here. You can include it in a public course if you want. Format, this is actually interesting. I've never done this, but you want to click online here. Blended means it's hybrid and online. Something super important to note down here, click this more options button. This is going to be helpful for you when you start working on your homepage, which is the next video. Okay, so here, number of announcements shown on the homepage. I like, depending on what yours is automatically set at, I like to set mine at 3. And I'll show you what that looks like in the homepage. So set it on 3. I wouldn't do more than that, but at least have 1 or 2 or 3. Let students attach files to discussions. Click that yes. Let students create discussion topics. I don't allow them to create discussion topics normally because I want to be in control of everything. So up to you, but I would start with no on that. Let students edit or delete their discussion posts. Yes, I say yes to that. Let students organize their own groups. I would turn that off for right now. Hide totals and student grade summaries. You don't want to do that because you want them to see their grade as it's going. Hide grade distribution graphs from students. You can do that if you want. It's kind of up to you. Disable comments on announcements. I would unclick this because you want them to comment on the announcements if they have questions. And then I would definitely let only teachers can create, rename, and edit courses by default. You don't want to let students or anyone else do that. You want to be in control. Okay, up here at the top, you have a couple of options as well. You can choose an image if you want, and you just click this and have it on your desktop. If you want to have on the icon, this would be the image that you see. The students can make their own image, but it's kind of nice so that when you look at your courses, they look a little bit different. So for example, if I look at, if I go over here to another class, let's see, where have I done it? If you go to your dashboard, here I've done different colors, but you can also go to, let me find another example here for you. Dashboard. These are colors as well. I don't have any right now to pull up for you to see the images, but you can make all these different images and whatnot if that's interesting or helpful to you. Okay. On sections here at the top, that gives the section that this class is in. Navigation. Okay, so here on navigation, you can reorder these and hide ones that you don't need. Again, you want to keep it very simple for the students. I like to do it in this order. Home, announcements. I will put the syllabus under that. Assignments, discussions. I want to definitely pull up the quizzes up here. And I want to pull up modules. I like to do modules right after syllabus. So any announcements, the syllabus, homepage will always be on the top. Modules, which is the main content of your class. Quizzes, this is any exam or quiz or anything that you make them take. Assignments are going to be any assignments that you make them do, discussion posts, anything like that. And then here's our discussion board if they just want to click to it as well. Everything is really going to be contained within the modules, and then they can click through if they want. The grades, sometimes I like to put the grades here at the top too, so the students are really aware of their grade. You always want them to know what their grade is, especially with online teaching. Be very clear, be very transparent with them, and that makes it a lot easier for them. I don't like to allow them, you can disable it if you want so they don't see it. When you click disable, it bumps down to the bottom down here. So these they'll be able to see after you publish them, of course. Outcomes, I don't really need all that. All of these you can kind of take off if you don't want to use it. Collaborations, you can disable all of these. Just click disable and it moves it. And if you want to move any of them around, just click on it and drag it and it will kind of move around for you. If since you're doing an online class, you don't really need attendance, you can disable all of these. I would disable any of them that you don't need so that it doesn't start to overwhelm you or anything like that. Just get them out of the way. Again, stay simple so you don't get confused and the students don't get confused. So you can hide any of these, that you want, or you can drag and drop them down here at the bottom. I don't need any of those. So go through and get your navigation in order. On the apps section, it shows you other apps that your school has for you if you want to utilize any of them. There are a ton, again, depending on what school you're at. And then you have feature options as well if you want to go through and do any of this really super fancy stuff. Again, just go through, organize your navigation, which ones you want on here, and your course details, okay? Now, after you do all of that, when you go back to your home page, you want to make sure that it's not published, because once you click that publish button, the students can see everything that you've published. Just wait a bit. On the right side here, you can import something if you have someone that shared a class with you and you want to import their content. We're going to choose a home page in the next class. Okay, you can view a course stream, which is something you can come back to later. Any new announcements you want to add. If you want to see what the student's view looks like, click Student View. When you do that, it's going to allow you to take a look here. This is how the student sees it. So because I didn't disable these, they still see these tabs. So this is the students and how they see their view. I always suggest taking a look at this so you know what's published and not published. So that means the students right now, if this was published, this is everything they see. When you want to get out of this class, I'm going to move my head there for a second. Just click Leave Student View, and it will pop you back to your side as well. Okay, so I'm going to again go back to the home page, which is going to take me back to the main one. And it's going to tell you anything here on the right that's coming up that you're going to need to grade. Now, this is a basic overview start of how to use Canvas. Again, I've gone over this side, I've gone over this side, and then the far left over here, when you click Dashboard, that is going to take you to the classes that you currently have up here, okay? It's the main ones that you've selected. Now, again, this is an old school that I don't teach at right now. When you go to Courses, if you click over here, All Courses, you may not see your class here. Go down to All Courses, and it's going to open up every course that you have access to. And these are all old courses. Okay, if you want to make it pop up on that dashboard, I would suggest starring the ones you're working on right now. So click that star button for the ones that you're focusing on so you have a home page as well, a dashboard page that focuses on the classes that you're using. Unstar anything you're not working on right now. Okay, so those classes pop up here. A calendar on the left side is going to be obviously your calendar, what you have in here, any assignments with all of your classes popped in. You can pop these in here if you want. It's really super helpful. Okay. Inbox. This is like your email. If I were you, I highly encourage you to have your students use this inbox messaging system. Don't have them use your email unless it's something that they need a question to that they can't log on to Canvas. If you start consolidating and utilizing Canvas for the wonderful format it has and having all of your students show up and use this as one format, one platform, one community, it's going to be so much easier, not only for your students, but for you, so that you know everything is in one place. And when you're teaching multiple classes, when the student sends you a message, it will show you what class they're in, it will give you their stats, their analytics, their picture will pop up, and you will have a great reference to them. So I highly encourage you to use this. It's also great because it makes everything a little bit easier, like almost like a text message, and you can respond quickly. So use the inbox. Commons, these are just other helpful information if you need it. If you want to get super fancy, go over here to your account, pop a picture up here of you because it really gives the student a face-to-face example of you. And it's a lot more helpful. It's a lot more one-on-one and more intimate with them versus blank. So all you have to do is click over here to profile. Okay, you can put your biography. I copied and pasted this from my website, a little bit about you, because they do read this. If you want to click to your personal website or other links, okay, it has other files and notifications in here for you. I'm just going to go back. Notifications, check this out. Okay, if you go over here to your notifications tab, this is how you are going to be notified via Canvas. Extremely important. Okay, now I don't want to get a notification every single time something is due or somebody submits something. So you have options here. You can get a notification via email, or you can get a notification via a push on your device. I'll come to the device here in a second. You can cancel a lot of these, or you can click on them. This means like late. You can get it notified like a day later. This means you do want to get the notification. This means you can pick a certain, I think it comes once a week or something like that. I can't remember all the exact details. Yeah, weekly notifications. This means no, don't send me notifications. I would say no to all of these because you're doing all of this. You don't want to have them on and then all of a sudden you get like 1,000 notifications that your students have submitted an assignment or discussion or a random comment. It can be a lot. I click them all off. Now this is what I usually like to click on. If there is a submission comment, I click that I think this is like once a day. It'll email you. If you want a push notification, meaning through your cell phone, click that here. I like to get an email so that I can get one a day and then go through and see the comments. But you want to be notified for comments, otherwise you won't know they're there. I turn the rest of these off because Canvas will show you if it's late, it'll have a red dot over their grade, a red dot. Again, I'll come back to that in grading. Discussions, I don't have any of these turned on. Conversations, I wouldn't turn any of these on as well. Scheduling, I wouldn't turn any of these on. I'd turn them all off. Again, you don't want to be bombarded with notifications from Canvas unless it's important. I would turn all of these off except comments, submission comments. I would turn that on at least once a day. I think this is once a week. Otherwise, you won't know that someone left a comment on a submission. Again, up to you, but set up these preferences. Oh, here it is. Notify me right away. Send a daily summary, or this is send a weekly summary. So there's your guideline of these icons, or do not send me anything. Again, it's up to you. If you want to try it for a bit and get a lot of these on, cool. You can always change them right here. Profile, you want to add a picture, you could just click edit profile and it takes you there to edit all that. Settings over here. This has the basic overview settings of everything. You can edit them. It's pretty general. I wouldn't worry about anything on the rest of this. Okay, so that takes you through the basics of Canvas. So the next time I see you will be to set up a homepage. If you have any questions that I didn't cover really quickly on this because I'm trying to pump these videos out, go ahead, leave it down in the comments for me and I will respond to it so others can see it as well. If you subscribe to my YouTube page, just click the subscription button down below or up the top here on my face, and you will get these videos as I pump them out. All right, best wishes to you. You can do this. Take a breath and let's jump in and get started on creating your first Canvas shell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.